There comes a quiet moment when stairs stop feeling routine and start feeling uncertain. For many seniors, that moment brings fear of loss of independence, of home, of dignity. But difficulty does not mean the end. It means a different, safer way forward deserves consideration. There comes a quiet moment in many lives when stairs stop feeling neutral. They do not suddenly become enemies. They do not announce danger. They simply begin to ask more of the body than they once did. A step feels higher. A descent feels less certain. The hand reaches for the railing more often, not out of fear but instinct. At first, these moments are easy to dismiss. Everyone has an off day. Muscles tighten, balance wavers, fatigue sets in. The body has earned its slower moments. Most seniors adjust without thinking, taking stairs more carefully, pausing halfway, using the wall for balance. Life continues, and nothing dramatic happens. That quiet continuation can be comforting. It reassures the mind that nothing has truly changed. But change, especially with age, rarely arrives loudly. It arrives through repetition, through small accommodations made so naturally they barely register. A shift in how the body moves through familiar space is not a failure. It is information. Stairs are unique because they sit at the intersection of strength, balance, vision, and confidence. They demand coordination. They punish distraction. And when the body begins to negotiate them instead of moving through them effortlessly, it is not a warning to panic. It is an invitation to pay attention. Many seniors resist that invitation because it feels loaded with meaning. Difficulty with stairs is often interpreted as a verdict rather than a signal. It feels like a line crossed, a loss acknowledged. And because of that, the instinct is often to minimize it, to push through, to prove that nothing has changed. That instinct comes from a lifetime of resilience. It deserves respect. But resilience does not mean ignoring information. It means responding to it wisely. The first real tension many seniors feel is not physical, but emotional. The question forms quietly. If stairs are becoming harder, what does that say about the future? And beneath that question sits an even heavier one. Does this mean I cannot stay here? Home is not just a structure. It is memory held in walls. It is the sound of footsteps in the hallway at night, the familiar creak of a stair, the way light falls through a window at a certain hour. Home remembers a person even when the person begins to forget small things. It carries identity. The idea of selling a home is rarely about real estate. It is about surrender, about erasing a chapter, about becoming unmoored from the place where life unfolded. For many seniors, the suggestion to sell does not feel practical. It feels personal. Often, that suggestion comes quickly. A family member notices hesitation on the stairs. A friend mentions a fall they heard about. A professional raises the topic of downsizing. These conversations are usually well-intentioned, but they can land with force. When fear enters the conversation, urgency follows. Selling becomes framed as the responsible choice, the safe choice, the inevitable choice. And under pressure, many seniors begin to believe that difficulty with stairs means they have run out of options. That belief is one of the most damaging myths of aging. Selling a home is not a neutral act. It is disruptive. It demands energy, decision-making, adaptation, and emotional processing all at once. For someone already navigating physical change, this can be overwhelming. More importantly, it often removes control at the very moment control matters most. When a decision is driven by fear, it rarely preserves dignity. It replaces autonomy with reaction. Seniors who sell quickly often discover that the loss they feel is deeper than expected, not because the new place is wrong, but because the choice was rushed. Safety matters, but so does continuity, so does familiarity, so does the quiet confidence that comes from knowing where things are, how sounds travel, how the house behaves at night. These elements are not sentimental, they are stabilizing. What is often overlooked is that stairs becoming challenging does not mean a home has become unsuitable. It means the relationship between the body and the environment needs adjustment, and adjustment does not require abandonment. Homes, like bodies, can adapt. When the conversation shifts away from selling and toward adapting, something important changes. Fear loosens its grip. Possibility re-enters the picture. Instead of asking, "Where will I go?" the question becomes, "How can this space support me now?" That shift is powerful because it restores agency. Adapting a home does not mean turning it into something unrecognizable. It means respecting both the home and the person living in it. It means acknowledging that needs evolve, and environments can evolve too. For many seniors, the idea of modifying a home initially feels like a concession, a visible admission that aging is real, but that framing is misleading. Adaptation is not surrender, it is strategy. Throughout life, people adapt constantly. They change routines, they adjust schedules, they reorganize spaces. These changes are rarely seen as losses. They are seen as practical responses to new realities. Home adaptations belong in that same category. They are not about frailty. They are about alignment. When stairs are supported properly, confidence returns. Movement becomes less cautious. The body relaxes instead of bracing. That relaxation reduces risk more effectively than avoidance ever could. More importantly, adaptation preserves independence. It allows seniors to continue living on their own terms rather than reshaping their lives around limitations. The most important aspect of adaptation is that it is chosen, not imposed. Choice preserves dignity. When a senior decides how to adjust their environment, they remain in control of the narrative of their life. That control matters deeply, especially in later years, when so many changes feel external and unavoidable. There is also a quiet financial wisdom in adaptation. Selling a home comes with costs that extend beyond money. Relocation disrupts routines, social networks, and mental well-being. These disruptions can have long-term consequences that outweigh the perceived safety benefits. By contrast, adapting a home often requires less upheaval and allows resources to be used in ways that directly support daily life. It is an investment in continuity, but beyond practicality lies something even more important: peace of mind. Peace does not come from eliminating all risk. It comes from knowing that risk has been thoughtfully managed, that the environment is not working against the body, but with it. When a senior can move through their home without constant calculation, without quiet dread, without bracing for a misstep, life regains its rhythm. That rhythm is essential to emotional health. Staying in a familiar home also preserves identity. People are not just shaped by who they are, but by where they have been. Removing someone from their home too quickly can feel like erasing part of their story. Adaptation allows that story to continue. Of course, adaptation is not about denial. There are moments when moving is the right choice, but those moments should arise from reflection, not panic, from readiness, not pressure. The danger lies in treating stairs as a verdict instead of a signal. A verdict closes options. A signal opens them. When seniors are supported in exploring alternatives, they often discover that what they feared was not the stairs themselves, but what the stairs seemed to represent. loss of independence, loss of control, loss of self. Adaptation reframes that story. It says, I am still here, I am still deciding, I am still capable. That message is not only comforting, it is stabilizing. The home becomes a partner again, not an obstacle. The body is respected, not challenged. Life continues, not in the same way as before, but in a way that fits now. And fitting now is the essence of aging well. Aging is not about preserving the past unchanged. It is about carrying forward what matters in forms that still work. Safety and dignity are not opposing goals. They are partners when approached thoughtfully. When stairs become difficult, it is not a sign to leave. It is a sign to pause, reflect, and respond wisely. Selling a home should never be the first response to physical change. It should be one option among many, considered carefully and chosen freely if it truly aligns with well-being. For many seniors, the greatest relief comes not from moving, but from realizing they do not have to. They can stay, they can adapt, they can remain rooted while still being safe. That realization restores something precious. Trust, trust in the home, trust in oneself, trust in oneself, trust in the ability to navigate change without losing identity. And in later life, that trust is one of the strongest foundations for peace. Difficulty does not end a story. It invites a new chapter, one written with care, intention, and respect for the life that has already been lived and the life that is still unfolding.